Do you know what the chart builder in FortiAnalyzer is? Have you ever faced requests from your management to generate different reports for FortiGate, FortiAnalyzer, or other Fortinet products, but could not find exactly what you need in default templates? Do you know that you can even write your own custom datasets and, with the help of ChatGPT, make the process of creating and customizing FortiAnalyzer reports much easier? In this video, we will explore how to use FortiAnalyzer's chart builder, custom datasets, and reporting features to generate meaningful use case based reports, including examples like tracking VPN users who have not logged in for a day, week, or month. So, if you want to level up your reporting skills and deliver exactly what your management is asking for, let's get started. As I told you during the intro, there can be numerous use cases for creating custom reports or getting a specific report about users. Let's discuss about some of the use cases. Some of the use cases, for example, VPN and user activity reports. You want to fetch all the top VPN users by login frequency or longest session duration. Then you can use the custom reports. You can create your own dataset, and even there are default datasets or default reports available for all these like many use cases. I'm giving you some examples of the use cases for custom reports or custom dataset, and there can be like many more depending on your requirement what you want. You want to get the failed VPN login attempts. You can simply generate a report from FortiAnalyzer and you can get this possibly brute force or credential misuse. Concurrent VPN usage, for example, capacity and license monitoring. You want to know how many total number of users are connecting to your VPN or how many are connecting daily. So you can use this report again, concurrent VPN usage. Similarly, we can get reports for network and performance reports, top takers by bandwidth consumption, link usage, and bandwidth utilization trends, device health monitoring like CPU, memory usage over time. So all these reports are generated based on the logs that are being received by FortiAnalyzer from the FortiGates or any other device, from the FortiGate or any other device. But if there are no logs, or if you are not sending the logs from the device to the FortiAnalyzer, then of course these reports generation won't be possible. You can get like latency or packet loss trends. You can generate reports related to the DOS attempts detected, blocked, any anomalies, high packet drops, or out of order packets. So these kind of reports you can generate from FortiAnalyzer by using the default templates or the custom datasets. We can generate like there are some more use cases like you want to see top IPS signatures triggered by attacks, malware detections by device or a user, compromised host report, outbound connections to malicious destination. So I'm just giving you some of the use cases that is possible or that you can generate reports from the FortiAnalyzer. Then like top applications accessed by employees, like you want to categorize or how they are utilizing based on the application type or the URL type or category of the website. So all these different kind of reports is possible from FortiAnalyzer if your devices or if your FortiGates or Fortinet products are sending logs to the FortiAnalyzer. So these were like some of the use cases that we discussed. Let's talk how these reports are generated. Okay. So when you log into your FortiAnalyzer, you will see under reports, report definition and generated reports. So this is a GUI from 7.4.x version, and even if you are running 7.2 or any older version, the GUI will be different, but still you will have an option for reports there. Okay, so when you click on the report definitions, you will be able to see all reports, templates, chart library, micro library, and datasets. And there are predefined reports or the default reports that are already available or that exists on the FortiAnalyzer as a factory default. So you have got application reports, asset reports, fabric report, like depending on the different product, you have a default report templates or like multiple reports available under these folders. So for example, in case of FortiGate, okay, I don't have a screenshot under the screenshot, so you will be able to see like FortiGate reports or Forti client reports. So if you expand this plus sign, of course, I will show you this in the lab time. Meanwhile, I'm just explaining. So when you click on this report, you will be able to see all the different reports available under that. You have got this chart library and data sets. We'll come on to that. So these reports, like you can utilize the default reports that are available under the report definition, and always first try whether your requirement or the use cases that you are trying to fetch the data for exist in the already existing reports, or there is already a report defined for your use cases, so you don't have to work hard and you don't have to create a custom data set or anything. So you can utilize the existing default reports. When you click on chart library also having charts which are already predefined. Okay, so I will tell you like how these chart library and data sets come into the picture. So when you have a report, this is a report. Okay, this report utilizes chart, okay, or data set, or combination of both. So before, like when you create a report, a new report, you have to bind a chart library or bind a data set to the report, then only report gets created. So I will be explaining you, I will show how this works. Okay, similarly for data sets also you have already predefined thousands of data sets. So data sets is nothing but it's just a SQL query to fetch the data. SQL query to fetch data. SQL query to fetch data from fetch database. Fetch database is Postgres database. Okay, Postgres, or in newer versions, it's say like ClickHouse, Postgres SQL database. So data sets are the SQL queries that are being used to fetch the data from the database. Now you want to write a custom report or a custom data sets. If you are from database side or if you know database, then it will be very easy for you. But when you want to write a custom query, SQL query, what it's important? It is important to understand the table structure or how the data is stored in FortiAnalyzer, like under which table or which fields it is stored. That information can be seen from the log view, like you will be able to see the different fields that your logs are having, and based on the log field, log columns, you will be able to understand. But still, if you like when you are writing the data set, you need to know how the data is stored under which different tables. So I'm showing you can visit this link for all details about any other products apart from FortiGate. For the FortiGate, the application control is stored under log app control, intrusion prevention under log attack. So this is like a name, you can say name of the table. Name of table, you can say this. It's type or name of table. Okay. So these are different tables in the FortiAnalyzer that stores the data. So for example, you want to see the event log, and you want to create a query for event log, then you need to refer or you need to call the $log event in the SQL query, like when you are selecting the data. So these understanding the table or understanding the type is important. Okay. So once you understand like under which category or under which table this particular data exists, it will be easier for you to understand the query. And on FortiAnalyzer, it's like you don't have to define specifically this. You can select from the drop down, but while writing the query, you need to understand the structure of the table. So either you can use a existing query or you can create your own new query, but better idea is to use a existing SQL dataset which matches or which is near to your requirement and then modify to fulfill your use case requirement. So if you understand all these tables, then this is like very helpful when you are creating the reports. FortiAnalyzer table schema. Now we know like these are the table names. For example, $log event, what we have seen, $log event or $log or $traffic, $app control. So these are the different tables. But now what are the different fields? What are the different fields in the table, right? Or the uh, columns in the table, fields in the table. So that is part of the table schema. If you want to understand the table schema. So important is to know the table schema or the fields available in the table. If you understand the table, you can easily write queries by yourself. I personally use a lot of AI help to write the SQL queries as I am not an expert or good at SQL. So you can use your chat GPT to modify the existing queries or use based on the existing ones. This is the table schema. Table schema for traffic log. So when you say a traffic log or like when a log is created on the FortiAnalyzer sent by a FortiGate, this log, this traffic log is having all these different fields in the table. What is getting stored, that depends on what FortiGate sent, but the table has this structure for a traffic log. So what it has got, like ID, BID, DBID, IT time, D time, destination, endpoint ID, log flag, log version, subtype, all this is there. Policy ID, session ID, source IP, destination IP. So whatever you see in a log, traffic log, all the fields are defined. So this is the table schema for the traffic log. Now, why it is important? For example, when you are writing your query, what you have to say, you just want select policy ID. You want to get the policy ID from where? From $log where policy ID equals to 2, for example. So this will be your SQL query to get all the logs or to get all the data for policy ID 2, right? So if you have basics of SQL, then you will be able to easily understand it, what I mean. So now we know the table structure. We know the table name from the previous page. So this is important, and then we need to know the fields of the table. When we understand both, like what fields exist in the table and what is a table name, anyone can write queries depending on whatever the use case is, right? Now this table schema I am showing you here, but this table schema is a downloadable. You can download the table schema. Download the table schema from where? From Fortinet support website. From Fortinet support website. So if you have login to your support portal, then you have to go under firmware, downloads, and how you download the firmware image, like image Under the same section, you will see schema. Under the same section, you will see schema. So you can get the FortiAnalyzer table schema downloaded from the support portal website for any device. And this schema varies, may differ depending on the firmware version, as there can be new field being added or new fields being removed in different firmwares. So you have to get the table schema for your device. So once you understand this, it's very easy to write the SQL queries for your requirement. Now I will show you all this on a FortiAnalyzer, how to write query, what is a datasets. Let's see all this in a uh, FortiAnalyzer, live on a FortiAnalyzer. So when we see something on the live during our video, that's the lab time. Let's start our lab. Here I am with a FortiAnalyzer. So when you go under reports, click on report definitions, you will see these different kind of reports or like multiple reports already configured. So you have the reports here like application reports, application reports, asset reports, compliant reports, Forti client reports. So all these different report folders are available. And under these folders, when you expand, for example, like FortiGate reports, expand this FortiGate reports. You get protection report, security report. So all different reports are available as part of the default configuration. So DNS report, security report, email report, GTP report. So these are the default reports that are available. Okay. Now, for example, the use case for VPN, I told VPN. So if you say VPN report, this VPN report, you can click on editor and you will be able to see what this VPN report contains. VPN report contains VPN login connection count, VPN login user count, VPN login attempt count, failed login attempts, VPN login bandwidth used. So this is like a summary report or detailed report for VPN usage. So you have whether SSL VPN or you have IPsec VPN. So this report is going to give you like top 5 dial-up IPsec tunnels or top 5 dial-up IPsec users by duration. So these all are available, or this report can be generated by using the default report for the VPN report. That's the name is VPN report. Okay. Now you might have noticed this VPN report, when I click on the editor, we are calling these different fields or like the data. We are retrieving this data. How we are retrieving this data? This VPN login connection count. If you click on this, this is like a data set. This is like a data set. So this data set we are inserting, insert chart, insert macro. This we are inserting. So this is a chart. Okay. See, when you click on the chart, you see VPN login connection count by type. And if you click this, this is the chart he is referring. And if I say clone chart, I want to show you the dataset. Then this is binded to a dataset. What dataset? Dataset is this. This is the actual query that is being executed to get what? To get the VPN login connection count. To get the VPN login connection count. Right? If you again do this, under the dataset, you will be able to see VPN authenticated logins. So what VPN authenticated logins is doing? Select this user aggregation IP as blah blah from a table. So we have the query here. This query is being executed to fetch VPN authenticated login. Right? So VPN login connection count by type. So what it does is it executes this dataset query, plots them in this chart, and then adds into this report. Okay, hope it's clear. So the dataset and chart library are binded to the report. Now, when you are creating a report, what you need? Okay, now let's say your use case is matching or is fulfilled by one of the default reports, then it's fine. So always look for a default report if already there is one, because in that case you don't have to work hard. Okay, so you now if you just remove the search, let's go back to the reports, FortiGate reports. Okay, now DNS report. Okay. This DNS report, what this DNS report is doing, any DNS queries to botnet, CNC, high risk sources, top query domain, it will generate a report. So this report is like the default report. Now let's go back to here, datasets. Now all these reports are binded to some datasets. So datasets are the data sets are huge. Like the default dataset that exists on the FortiAnalyzer is a very long list, and I have seen 90% of the use cases can be achieved by the existing dataset, and you just need to create a report, use the relevant datasets from this dataset, and you are done. For example, I want to fetch a report of the CPU usage for my device for last 10 days. So if you don't have a SNMP polling or SNMP server, how you will get this data? It's impossible, right? So you can get this data from the FortiAnalyzer if your FortiGate is sending the logs to FortiAnalyzer. Now let's try to create a report or create a data set and try to bind them together. Okay, now I will go to report. I will say I want to create a report, or let's first create a data set. Okay, let's create a data set. What data set I want? I want this VPN authenticated logins. Okay, how many VPN users are authenticated? So I already have a data set. Sorry, this data set. Okay, I am going to use this data set. So let's create a report, and I need a chart. 1 minute. I should have a chart. If I don't have, I will create one. Total failed logins, login attempts by VPN type, or VPN login. Okay. What VPN logins chart will do? This will have this dataset binded VPN user login history. Okay. VPN user login history is what? When the user is logged in. So it will give you a history of the user. Now let's create a report. You have to go under report definitions. Select the folder under which you want to create, or it's no need. Click on report, create new. Under the report, I have to say VPN login report Rosa, just to make it search easily. Create from blank. Okay, I created. Now this is the report. Under this report, go to editor, insert chart. Which chart I want? VPN login. We already used this one, VPN logins. Okay, I will use this and apply. This is done. Written. Now let's run this report. We have to search our report name, and we have to click here. I have to run from last 7 days, run report. Okay, now the report is running and report is completed. It's completed very quickly because I don't have too much data. I have a lab firewall which is only having one user as the login. Let's go to PDF, and if you click under the VPN report, we'll see VPN logins when 28, and it was one count. So because it is only my user and I created a VPN, on my firewall where the test user logged in yesterday one time. So now you got VPN login record for one user. So in your organization, you might have thousands of users logging in, logging out. So you will easily be able to get the number of users who are logging in daily. So you will get a trend like what time most of the VPN users connects, or uh, mm, during what is the least time for your VPN users when they are not connecting. So these kinds of report can be generated. Okay, this is one of the use cases. So you know how to create a report now. You hope it's clear. If any doubt, let me know. Now let's go back to the report definition, return, and find our report. My report is this, and I am binding the dataset, this dataset VPN logins. Okay, VPN logins, VPN user login history. Now I want to customize this. You can also use the help of your chat GPT to create some custom SQL queries for you. Here is the FortiAnalyzer SQL dataset. I want to get a query to retrieve all VPN user in last 30 days, for example. Got it. You want to FortiAnalyzer SQL query. So here is the modify query. Now you can use this query like as a easy way, and under your dataset you can get the query as per your requirement. So for me, I like when I have some use case, I find one of the dataset which matches or which is near to my requirement, and then I use the chat GPT or my SQL knowledge to create a custom SQL query, custom dataset, and I am able to get any use case or any requirement that I need. It's very easy to fetch any data depending on the logs. You can get like, okay, the unused firewall policy, top B, what is the CPU trend for the device, what is the memory usage for the FortiGate in last 30 days. Okay, now let's generate one more report. Let's insert one more chart, and this time let's use event, and from the event I will have CPU maybe. Okay, CPU utilization by device. Okay, CPU utilization by device. Click OK and apply. I will run this report again. Return, run report. Run report. Let's see if it's run. Okay, now it ran the. Okay, now see the report. Under the report, you can see CPU utilization by device. This is my firewall, and maximum CPU utilization 11%, average CPU utilization 0%. Why it only gave one line? It gave only one line because let's go to our chart or dataset. What this dataset says, dataset is retrieving the data for all your devices. Here let's see the query. This is the query. Select the device ID, sum of total CPU as decimal, and then CPU average and max. So what it is giving you? It is giving you the maximum CPU utilized by that device, right? Now you can get a trend for this. You can get a trend of the CPU usage or trend of the memory usage. Now let's try to create a trend. Maybe there will be an existing data set for this. Let me just check if there is already one. Click on the data set, CPU. Let's find some event usage CPU. Select hour of the day. Okay, let's utilize this. Some it will give you every hour. Estimate. Okay, event CPU usage or CPU sessions, CPU day and sessions. Okay, let's use this data set, event usage CPU sessions. All report, my report. I will change the chart for the editor. Instead of this CPU utilization by device, I will say average CPU usage by hour of day. Okay, so this will change the data set. Now this should give us a trend of our device. Let's run the report and let's see. It's running. The report is executing and it's finished. Now let's see the PDF. Here you go. So you can see the CPU utilization of my FortiGate device hourly. So my maximum CPU utilization of the device is going 1%. Right? This is how you can get custom reports. You just need to have a use case, and that use case you can achieve by using a custom dataset, custom report, or from the existing dataset and then modifying the query. And you can use, if you don't know the SQL queries, use the help or assistant from the ChatGPT, which will help you to write SQL queries as well. Hope this helped, or this will help you to understand dataset, chart builder. Yeah, sorry, one more important topic. There is something called chart builder. So when you go under log view, okay, and you will be seeing any logs for your device. All these logs, for example, my device, I'm having these logs. Now I can apply a filter, for example, HTTPS traffic, okay, and service HTTPS. And then I can use a chart builder from here easily to just have a report and chart builder based on our requirement. So now whatever I selected here, this query, for this, the chart builder prepares the SQL query by its own. So you can see select device ID, distinct user, action, from where, from $log, where filter is, what is a filter, log flag, and service equal to HTTPS because I applied a filter. Now you can use this SQL query or this chart builder to directly create a chart, and this chart builder will create both the data set and the chart, and then you can bind it to a report. I hope this video gave you a clear idea of how to create custom reports, charts, and data sets in FortiAnalyzer. With the right use cases like VPN user tracking, security event monitoring, or compliance reporting, you can deliver exactly the insights your management is asking for. And remember, tools like ChatGPT can even help you write and refine custom dataset queries, saving you time and effort. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Also check out my other tutorials on FortiGate, troubleshooting, and other Fortinet best practices. The links are in the description below. Thanks for watching. I will see you in the next video.